Talk Steel, Luke here. In this video I'm going to be showing you how a super clean dirty leather seat on this rather dirty Volvo C30. We'll be using some cheap and easy products, taking the seat from this to this. Hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon to be alerted of all future videos. Now, since I am from Liverpool and this is a Volvo C30, you might be mistaken that this is the Guru Mobile from the car cleaning guru. So sit back, relax and listen to the guru-esque sounds of birds and nature. Nah, just kidding, and back to the sounds of 80s synth. Now, car cleaning guru, if you're watching this, I do apologise, but I've waiting to be doing that for ages, or just waiting for the right car. If anyone's unsure what I'm on about, go and check out Car Cleaning Guru. He's a local detailing channel, much bigger than mine, but with very, very good content on there. I'll leave a link in the description below. But back onto the seats on the car, the very first thing I do is just give the car a good vacuum. Make sure to get all the crevices between the cracks in the leather, and also tilt the seat backwards as well, just to get into every little bit you can. The idea is there's going to be lots of dirt that's trapped in the crevices, and if you don't get this out and you start scrubbing against the seat, it's going to really act like sandpaper down there. And it's good practice to get this away anyway, because it's one of the major causes of wear on leather. Just grit being ground in by your body time after time, and people don't really clear this stuff out because it's so deeply ingrained in the crack and you don't see it. But it's probably my number one leather cleaning tip, is make sure the cracks are always free of sand.
What's the matter? You got some sand in your vagina? No, I don't have sand in my vagina.
What I'm using here is a pad cleaning brush from Auto Finesse. Now, I really like these for leather seats because the brush is really, really thin, but it's got long bristles, and that's great for getting in the cracks. But the long bristles kind of just flick the dirt out of the seat, and as I'm doing this, which doesn't really show up on camera, there is just so much dirt being flung up away from the cracks in the seat onto the surface, which I then can pick up quite easily with my vacuum. Also, another tip is, the plastic on the end of the vacuum, especially if it's a new vacuum, can be quite harsh sometimes, and it can scratch leather and plastics. So what I like to do is actually kind of sand down the edge of my vacuum cleaner on the nozzle, just to make that plastic a little bit softer. Now, you can just use some sandpaper, something like 600 grit around the edges will be absolutely fine. Or if you don't have any sandpaper, just kind of rub it on the tarmac on the floor, and that will soften the ends of that plastic, and then it's totally safe to use on seats, on dashboards, on plastics. And it's just a little tip that can save you a little bit of misery in the long run in case you scratch something. Now, what leather cleaner do I go for? Well, I've got two choices here. I've got an all-purpose cleaner or a dedicated leather cleaner, and I'm actually going for the all-purpose cleaner. The reason is, it's firstly so much cheaper. I'm diluting this 7-to-1, so it does cost about like 20-30 pence worth of product to do the entire seats on this car. The second thing is, I'm also going to be adding some protection to the seats at the end. Now, I know Verso, which is an all-purpose cleaner, has no additives in it. There's no like kind of like wax elements or kind of dressings in there. It's just pure. It's a degreaser actually at the end of the day. And what that's going to do, it's going to allow any protection then to stick to the surface of the seat as well as possible. Whereas the leather cleaners sometimes have some additives in there to help soften the seat or to give its own protection in itself. So that's the reason that I'm not using a leather cleaner on this. If you do have a leather cleaner though, it's totally fine still to use it, and you still get great results. Now, of course, this is a deep clean on the seats and they're quite dirty, so it's not going to just be a case of wiping the seat down and it's going to come up clean, but that is still where we're going to start anyway, because we want to remove as much of the loose dirt and contaminant on top of the seat, so we know truly what we're dealing with below the surface, and then can we just target them bits rather than everything just being masked together. So I'm just using the 7-to-1 all-purpose cleaner on the seats. I just space them on the seat, space them on the cloth, and rub back and forth. And the microfiber will do a good job of picking up a decent amount of dirt. I do like to check time after time on the microfiber cloth just to see how much is coming off. And then when that's done, what I also then like to do is go and get a soft detailing brush, the type you'd use on the paintwork of your car. And then I go and spray a generous amount into the bristles of the brush, and then go into circular motions over the seat, and this is going to get into the grains of the leather more than anything and just pull up that little bit more dirt. We are going to be using a harsher brush later on, but I just want to get as much as I can removed using gentle methods first. And of course, when all that's done, just go and get your microfiber cloth and wipe away the dirt that's sitting on the surface of the seat, and then we can move on to the next step, which is actually tackling the more ingrained, deeper dirt in there. So, what am I using for the deep clean? Well, typically there's two easy to go to methods, a leather brush and, if you're a long-term viewer of my channel, you've probably guessed already, a magic eraser. It's important here that I explain the uses of the two, because someone in the comment section is going to be having a hissy fit and they're going to be going, "No, a magic eraser destroys the leather seats, you pleb." The thing is, it doesn't. What you'll find is, the leather brush itself is quite harsh, and as you rub that against your skin, you will feel that the leather brush is actually more coarse and more damaging than the magic eraser is. Now that's not to say the leather brush will damage the seats, because it's designed to be used on the seats. It's just, if that's designed to be used on the seats, then the magic eraser is completely safe. See, what people don't seem to realise is that the leather seats aren't really leather, at least the bits you're not touching. There's a clear coat on top of these seats, almost like a plastic vinyl, and that's the bit that comes in contact with your skin and all the dirt, and that's where you're cleaning. So you're not scrubbing down the leather, you're just scrubbing a little bit of the clear coat like you would on the paintwork of your car, in a sense. Now, what I find is as I'm going along the seat with the two different products here, the magic eraser removes so much more surface dirt as opposed to the brush. I'd have to scrub so hard with that brush to get all the dirt off. As you can see here in the shot, with the magic eraser, I'm using very, very little pressure. It's really just the weight of my palm at the very most going back and forth. Ideally, you want to be using a combination of the two products really to get maximise your results, which I will show you later, both of them combined, but I just want to show you the differences of the way the two products work at the moment. On this side now, I'm just going to use the brush, and what you can see is, as I apply the all-purpose cleaner and work the brush in, a lot of dirt still gets lifted from the seat, and don't get me wrong, the brush is doing a decent job, but it's really, its major selling point is getting into the grain and the grooves and the cracks of the leather, and that's where it's pulling most of its dirt up from. That's a place the magic eraser really can't get, unless you're pushing really hard, and that's something you should never do. On the same side, as the brush does not get the same surface area on the surface of the seat than magic eraser can. So firstly, I would normally use the brush to get into the grains, and then I'd use the magic eraser then to clean the surface. But I know, even after me saying all that, someone's still going to be having hissy fits because it's a magic eraser on leather.
Don't mind Kyle, everyone. He's just got a little sand in his vagina. There's no sand in my vagina!
As you can see in this split shot, it demonstrates completely what I've just been saying. The side of the magic eraser is so much cleaner, and I hope at this point you realise how hard you'd have to scrub with a brush to get the other side up to the same standards. So let's move on to the driver's seat, and I want to do a true before and after. So one side of the seat I've not touched at all apart from a vacuum, and the other side of the seat I'm going to be combining all the methods, and I'm going to be doing this quite a bit quicker than the other seats because I've done a lot of explanation already. So I'm starting off with a microfiber towel and all-purpose cleaner and giving the seat a decent scrub down to remove as much surface dirt as possible. Then I'm going to go in with a soft bristle brush with a lot of all-purpose cleaner in the brush, and again I'm going to just work this in circular motions to remove loose dirt that's in the grains. Then I'm going to grab my leather brush and I'm going to work this into the grooves in the seat, the cracks in the seat, and as much of the grains as possible. But I'm not really going to scrub it too much, especially with the cracks. You just want to go into the direction of the cracks and just try and get what you can out of there. And then finally it's coming with the magic eraser, going back and forth lightly, and of course once the eraser gets a bit dirty, washes off in a bucket and then apply some more all-purpose cleaner. But that's about it. It's a pretty simple process to do. Some people may wonder why I'm not using anything like a steam machine on this, because that would be much better getting stuff out of the grains. It's just a lot of people don't have access to one, they're quite expensive, and everyone can get access to these type of equipment very easily and very cheaply, so it's a method that can work for everyone. And with the seats clean, it's now time to apply some protection so they stay clean and easy to clean in the future. Now there's lots of products out there that you can apply to the seat. So the one thing that I don't recommend using actually is a leather conditioner. Going back to what I said before about the clear coat on the seats, it makes the conditioner a little bit redundant. It doesn't make any difference to the seat nowadays on modern leather at least. All that's going to happen is that's going to go on the seat and it's going to come back off on your clothes and hands and body later on. So it's a little bit counterintuitive. Someone's going to say, you've used conditioner in the past on your steering wheel cleaning video. I know we did. If I was going to do that again now, I would like to update that and use this protection which I'm going to use now. So the protection I actually recommend is paintwork protection, which I know sounds completely strange, but a quick wax, a spray sealant or some type of ceramic coating on the seat works wonders. Now there are plenty of dedicated seat ones out there, so for example Auto Finesse do like an interior ceramic coating wipe that goes onto the seats, and I know CarPro do a ceramic coating for the seat as well, but you can just use a normal spray wax, a normal paint sealant. What I'm using here is one of those silicon dioxide or SiO2 coatings, which are essentially all a ceramic based coating but more those spray on wipe off formulas, so not quite as permanent, but I find these are the best quick solution for seats and still do a really good job of protecting them. And what you'll find is once the protection's worn off, just like the paintwork on your car, the seat will no longer bead when you apply a bit of water to it. But what the protection is going to do, it's going to create a barrier between you and the seat. So if you get dye transfer from your jeans or just, dirt, chocolate, anything on there, spilled coffee, it's going to wipe off really easily. All you need after that is a damp microfiber once every couple of weeks going over the seat, spend literally 2 minutes on it and it'll stay looking like new. But that's everything, so thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more content like this, perhaps consider hitting that bell notification icon and subscribe button. But until next time, see you soon and take care.